Okay, so today Milly Molly Mandy goes to the pictures. Once upon a time, Milly Molly Mandy found out there was a moving picture show every Saturday evening in the next village. It was the young lady who helped Mrs. Hubble in the baker's shop who told her. Milly Molly Mandy told father and mother and grandpa and grandma and uncle and auntie directly she got home to the nice white cottage with the thatched roof. And father and mother and grandpa and grandma and uncle and auntie thought they might go one Saturday evening for a special treat, with Milly Molly Mandy, of course, in the red bus that ran between their village and the next. So one Saturday evening, early, they all put on their hats and coats and walked down through the village to the crossroads where the red bus always stopped. As they passed the Moggses' cottage, little friend Susan was swinging on her swing, and Milly Molly Mandy waved to her and said, "Hello, Susan, we're going in the bus to the pictures." And little friend Susan waved back and said, "We're going next Saturday." So Milly Molly Mandy felt very glad for little friend Susan. As they passed Mr. Blunt's corn shop, Billy Blunt was making himself a scooter in the little garden at the side, and Milly Molly Mandy waved to him and said, "Hello, Billy, we're going in the bus to the pictures." And Billy Blunt looked round with a grin and said, "I went last Saturday." So Milly Molly Mandy felt very glad for Billy Blunt. When they came to the crossroads, the red bus was just in sight, and Milly Molly Mandy gave a little skip because it was very exciting. Then the red bus came close and pulled up, and they all crowded to the steps, father and mother and grandpa and grandma and uncle and auntie and Milly Molly Mandy. But the conductor put out his hand and said loudly, "Only room for two." So they had to decide quickly who should go. Uncle and auntie wanted grandpa and grandma to go, and grandpa and grandma wanted father and mother to go, and father and mother wanted not to go at all if they couldn't all go together. And then grandpa and grandma and uncle and auntie said, "Milly Molly Mandy will be so disappointed if she doesn't see the pictures. You take her, father and mother. There'll be room for her on your lap." And then the conductor said, "Hurry up, please," but quite kindly. So father and mother with Milly, I didn't make that sound very kind, did I? "Hurry up, please." I can't do it. So father and mother with Milly Molly Mandy hurried up into the red bus and squeezed past the other people into the two seats. They seem to be along the side of the bus, not in rows as they are these days. And Milly Molly Mandy, standing between father's knees while he got the money out of his pocket, watched grandpa and grandma and uncle and auntie getting smaller and smaller in the distance until she couldn't see them any more. And Milly Molly Mandy felt very sorry indeed they weren't coming to the pictures too. And then mother said, "Well, Milly Molly Mandy, we must just enjoy ourselves all we can, or grandpa and grandma and uncle and auntie will be so disappointed because they wanted us to enjoy ourselves." So Milly Molly Mandy cheered up and began to look out of the windows and at the other people in the bus. Mr. Rutch the blacksmith was sitting in the further corner, and he smiled a nice twinkly smile at Milly Molly Mandy, and Milly Molly Mandy smiled back. They couldn't talk because the bus made such a rattly noise. And then they came to the next village and got down. Coloured posters outside the place where the picture show was to be looked very exciting, and Milly Molly Mandy did wish grandpa and grandma and uncle and auntie could see them, but she thought she'd look at everything and remember very carefully so she could tell them all about it when they got home. The pictures were lovely. There was a very nice man who rescued a lady just in time. Milly Molly Mandy knew he would. And there was a funny man who ran about a lot and fell into a dustbin. And there was a quite close-up picture of the Prince of Wales and someone with feathers in his hat whom the father said was the king. The people clapped a lot, and so did Milly Molly Mandy. The light went out once, and they had to turn up the gas for a little while till they got it right. And Milly Molly Mandy could see where the blacksmith was sitting, and there was a lady who looked awfully like auntie over on the other side, only she had a little boy with her, and someone who might easily have been grandpa. And then the light came on again, and they turned off the gas, and the picture went on to the end. Milly Molly Mandy was sorry when it was all over and done. If only grandpa and grandma and uncle and auntie could have been there, it would have been just perfect. They went out quite close to the lady who looked like auntie, and she really did look like auntie, back view. And then Milly Molly Mandy heard father and mother talking to someone and exclaiming, and she looked up, and there was uncle. And the lady who looked like auntie turned round, and it was auntie. And she wasn't with the little boy at all. He belonged to somebody else. And then Grandpa and Grandma and Uncle and Auntie explained how the lady who lived at the big house with the iron railings near the crossroads was taking her little girl in their car to the pictures. The same little girl who'd helped Milly Molly Mandy that time when she got stuck up in a tree. And she passed while they were watching the red bus go out of sight and offered them a lift. So they had a lovely ride and arrived in time not to miss any of the pictures. And when Father and Mother and Grandpa and Grandma and Uncle and Auntie and Milly Molly Mandy came out into the street, there was the car outside. And the lady who lived at the big house with the iron railings smiled at them all and said, "There's room for 4 going back, if you don't mind sitting close." And the little girl with her said, "There's room for Milly Molly Mandy too, isn't there?" So Father and Mother and Grandpa and Grandma got in, and the little girl and Milly Molly Mandy sat on their laps. Uncle and Auntie went back by the red bus. And they had the loveliest possible ride home, just like the wind, without any rattling noise. And Milly Molly Mandy only wished it could have been twice as long. So altogether, it was very nice indeed, there being only room for 2 in the bus going. And here's the car. Not a car for a rainy day, as you can see. Oh, and next time we go for a picnic. It doesn't rain a lot in Milly Molly Mandy, does it? Bye for today.